YouTube, Quinn Wade coming to you with that analysis on Khris Middleton getting traded to the Washington Wizards for Kyle Kuzma. Um, the Milwaukee Bucks have agreed to trade Khris Middleton, AJ Johnson, in a pick swamp for the Washington Wizards. To the Washington Wizards for Kyle Kuzma, Patrick Baldwin Jr., in a second round draft compensation pick. The Bucks dropped below the second apron with the trade while agreeing to swap picks with the Wizards in 2028. I think that makes a lot of sense because it allows you to have more maneuvering ability, and it allows you to target other players that you might be able to put around Dame and Giannis. And that's what you have to do, is be below the apron to be able to do those type of moves. And Khris Middleton, as a guy that lives in Wisconsin like I do, he's been rumored to be traded for the last couple years, and the fans have been saying that they want him to be traded because he can't stay healthy. He's coming off double ankle surgery. And even though he doesn't look terrible out there on the basketball court, he's only getting older, and he's not really been available for the Milwaukee Bucks, even in playoff situations. So teams like the Bucks have limited time to win with Giannis, and they really prioritizing that each and every season. That's their goal, and that's what they're trying to do, as he's one of the best players in the world. And Khris Middleton hasn't really been helping that, missing a lot of time over the last couple years. And now they decided to finally move him, and they get a guy that they actually like in that trade while still being competitive and still being under the second apron, which all makes full amount of sense, even from a business perspective. Kuzma, he turned down the opportunity to be traded by the Wizards to the Dallas Mavericks at last season trade deadline. Kuzma is averaging 15 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 2.5 assists in 27 minutes across 30 games this season, with a career low PER of 10.7. Kuzma gives the Bucks additional size in comparison to Khris Middleton. Obviously, Kyle Kuzma is a guy that's 6'9", 221 pounds. He hasn't really been shooting a three ball that great, but I think he gets better and easier looks with the Bucks than what he did with the Wizards. He did win a championship with the Los Angeles Lakers. He's still under 30 as of right now. He's 29. He's still mobile. He's still athletic. Like I said, he is a streaky shooter, but he is a good shot creator to a certain extent, a decent rebounder, a decent playmaker, and that's what you like to see out of a guy like him. And he actually averaged 20 points per game the two seasons prior to this one, showing you that he can really create his own shot, and he can also play off the ball a little bit. And he can be a big reason that you can get to another level, especially because he's been healthier than Middleton, even though he has had his own injury problems, has missed a lot of games throughout his career too. But he hasn't been missing the amount of games that Middleton does, and this does make the Bucks a little younger at that small forward/power forward position that he can play if it's needed, and it allows Giannis to go big a little bit and play center sometimes, which is needed to have a little bit more versatility and a little bit more switchability. And I think that can help them, too, at the same time. And then AJ Johnson hasn't really played that much, hasn't really got a lot of opportunity with the Bucks. He only played 7 games, hasn't really had the greatest performance yet, and now it doesn't really matter too much because he's a part of this trade. It just seems like they had to add something to make this trade work, and the pick in AJ was the prospect that they liked, and they wanted to pick him up and get a flyer on him, and they didn't really like Patrick Baldwin Jr. too much, but I want to know what the Bucks are going to do with him, because he's a guy that's on a decent salary, but he's not going to get that much opportunity and that much playing time with the Bucks anyway. So he might be around for this season, might be gone next season, or he might even get bought out or waived. We'll see what they do with Patrick Baldwin Jr. In the future, but Middleton has averaged 12.6 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 4.4 assists in 23.2 minutes over the last 23 games this season after returning back from the double ankle surgery. Johnson was the 23rd overall pick in the 2024 draft by the Bucks. Johnson has appeared in 7 games with the Bucks, and with the 15 games he's been playing in the G League, where he was averaging 13 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 3.5 assists in 28 minutes. So he's a decent prospect, but he's not really fully an NBA player right now in his career. And the Wizards are still looking for young, athletic talent that they can mold around their roster. And what they're trying to do is gather a couple more assets, which a pick in him can be really good and enticing, and it really got the deal to go through. So we're going to see what the Wizards do with this pick and what they do with AJ Johnson in the future. And I think that that's something that's going to be fun to see play out in the future. But after that, getting rid of Khris Middleton for another long, athletic, big body that can score is a good thing. You're getting younger, you're getting athletic, you're getting mobile. You just got to make sure you get the bad habits that Kyle Kuzma has picked up from playing with the Wizards. Shed those things from him, hold him accountable, push him, let him know that they're on a championship level team, and force him to continue to adapt and adjust to a winning culture again. Shouldn't be that tough because he played for the Lakers. He understands how to be held accountable. He understands how to communicate, properly, and he has respect for players on the Bucks. Obviously, that's why he ended up getting traded there. But this is an opportunity that he should really be happy that he's in, because he was sitting there rotting in and really not doing too much with the Wizards at all. And people wonder, like, you just went there to show that you can play, show that you can be better than what you was with the Lakers, what you was able to do. But it's also showing you that you was playing really for nothing, because you could have made that type of money and still have a chance to win more championships if you would have just accepted a lesser role on a team like the Lakers or the Bucks that he was on. And it's your decision, it's your career. You make it what you want, you do what you want, you prove whatever point you're trying to prove, and you just hopefully you can stay healthy to be able to do that. But now it's back to reality and back to going to competing and having something significant in front of you, which is having a chance to do something special each and every season that you're still in the league. And that's what most players should try to do if they can. And Kyle Kuzma had the power to be able to do it. And it's just fun that he's going to be back on a team that possibly can still win it all. And I knew that John Horst wasn't going to stand pat and not do anything about this roster, because he still feels like, if I have Giannis, we have a chance to win the championship. So let's continue to surround him by the best talent. With the best talent to be able to win each and every season, even if we have to take gambles and risks, like trying to get a guy like Kyle Kuzma. Then that's what we have to do. And you got to like the fact that he's not afraid to make those moves, because Khris Middleton, he is a guy that really helped us win a championship, really was one of the best players on the roster, really stepped up in playoff moments and hit big shots and made big plays, and had a good reputation in the Bucks, world of basketball. And people loved him at those times because he was a guy that people felt like Giannis needed that type of guy, because Giannis couldn't do those things, but he didn't really have to, because Khris Middleton embraced those opportunities and embraced those challenges and was able to fill that role very vividly to all of us. And even though I'm not a Bucks fan, even though I live in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, at that, it's just fun to see what he was able to do for the Milwaukee Bucks over the last couple years before he actually became injury prone. And I'm not going to forget him, because it was just fun to see how they performed together as a duo, and Giannis making the All-Star team, Middleton making the All-Star team. But if they're going to get rid of Drew Holiday, they're going to get rid of you eventually, and it ended up happening. But a lot of people were saying, we want to trade Khris Middleton. He's the guy that we have to get rid of if we're trying to win another championship, because he's just not available enough the last couple years for us to be able to do that. And Giannis has been injured even in the playoffs, and that hasn't been able to sit right with Bucks fans either, because they feel like they're just wasting Giannis years when they could be winning or competing for more championships. And we're going to see if they can stay healthy this year and see what they really can do, as Dame is trying to get his first championship, and he has become that Middleton type of player for the Bucks that can hit the three, make the layups, make the free throws, and ice games just like Middleton used to can do. So I think that actually made Khris Middleton more expendable. But I think Kyle Kuzma probably is the better player at this point compared to Khris Middleton. And I think that that's something that they looked at too. And it makes sense if they felt that way. And even if he wasn't, he's younger and got more longevity. He's at around the same age as Giannis anyway. So he gives you switchability, versatility, and he's a little bit more healthier than Middleton. So it's a minor trade. It's a trade that's not going to change drastically anything, but it's a thing that really matters by getting them under the second apron, allowing them to do other moves, allowing them to fix the roster in the future, to give them another chance to build a better roster around Giannis, as long as they have him under contract and as long as they have him loyal. That's the game you have to play each and every season. John Horst and those guys in the Bucks organization understand that, and that's why they made this move. And ultimately, to me, it makes a lot of sense, even from a business perspective. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. And if you're new to the channel, I do breakdown just like this about various topics and very different things about NBA only content. I also do breakdowns with real NBA footage of legends, current legends, rookies, and future stars, and also draft and mock draft coverage. Not only that, thank y'all for putting analysis in y'all day. Thanks for continuing to watch. Thanks for continuing to support this channel each and every day that you guys do. And thanks for showing interest if you didn't want to be a subscriber. And if you want to get to know me a little bit more, my email and my social media is also on my channel, or you want to do a collaboration, or you want to talk a little bit more, that's the purpose of my social media, my email being on my channel for people that don't know. Other than that, y'all stay blessed. Y'all keep your heads up. Y'all keep grinding. Let's make it through the work week so we can get back to the weekend and get a little fun and a little leisure in there for our lives. Other than that, see you guys later today with more analysis. This was a shocking, crazy trade that came out of nowhere. They finally was able to get a good deal to get rid of Khris Middleton while still saving them some money and still giving them an opportunity to make other deals in the future while still getting good talent in return. That just called a good move from both teams, especially for the Bucks that's still trying to contend for a championship.